Hi, good evening, guys. Welcome to this webinar. We'll just wait for 2 more minutes so that rest of the participants join in, and then we'll be starting with the welcome webinar. Uh, Hi, good evening, everyone. So we are just about to start the session. First of all, congratulations, everyone, and welcome to Upgrad. And we hope so that your next few months with us, next 6 to 8 months with us, are indeed joyous, and you guys come up with something to help with your careers. Okay, so here as a panelist, we have Professor Sridhar from IIITB. We have Abhinav Rawat, Aditya Chauhan, and Shraddha Hosati, who are content strategists from Upgrad. Okay, I hope, and during the session, so I'll just share my screen. Uh, so I'll just quickly make you all go through today's agenda. Okay, so first we will be covering the grading criteria for this particular program. Then we would be discussing the program structure and syllabus so that you get familiar about the program. Then we would be discussing the learning experience. And then finally, we'll have the Q&A section. Yeah. So yeah, as mentioned earlier, our speakers are Professor Sridhar from IIITB. We have Aditya Chauhan, Shraddha, and Abhinav from Upgrad, who work as content strategists and make sure that you guys have access to the best content in a planned manner to make this journey smooth for you. So, Professor Sridhar, all over to you. You can just start with a brief introduction of yourself and take our learners to the
Thanks,
important.
Riaz. Thanks. Thank you. So welcome to all the learners who have enrolled in this postgraduate certificate program in software development. I'm sure that you will enjoy this particular program and you have made the right choice, right? So, all of you have, orange jobs, you have professional commitments and also personal commitments. You have made the right choice in going through the 6 to 8 months program in a postgraduate certificate program. in software development, and it will be a rewarding experience for you. So we are at IIIT Bangalore, or the academic partner for this particular program, along with UpGrad, will be delivering you this particular program for you. Before going into the details of all this grading, assessment, and things like that, as professors would say, I want to just give you a glimpse of where we are heading, right? I mean, how your choice of upgrading yourself in software development is a good choice for you. Right? So I did just going through some of the statistics of the vaccination program that we have. In fact, the National Health Mission Director, Dr. R.S. Sharma, previously the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India chief, and also UIDAI CEO, is very, I know him very well, and he also knows me very well as faculty who works in the area of telecom. So I was just seeing yesterday's news, right? So we have made a breakthrough of 900 million vaccinations in India, and we are just behind Russia, behind China. I mean, there is no comparison with the rest of the world. And we have made remarkable progress, right? I mean, we in Karnataka have inoculated about 13 million in the month of September alone, right? I mean, all these things have been possible only through, two things, right? One is the massive production of vaccines by Serum Institute of India and Covaxin, the indigenous make, and the commitment that these two companies have shown. And the second is the information technology that is behind this particular vaccination drive, right? So, for example, the COVID stack, right, including the vaccination interface that Arogya Setu has, is remarkable. I mean, it is not just not about vaccination of the individuals, but also about the whole supply chain, right? Supply chain, where and which primary health center this vaccine is going to be available, which vaccine is going to be available, what is the expiration date, how much time it should last, and things like that. It's remarkable the way in which we have done it, right? So you are on the right track. I mean, full stack development, cybersecurity, blockchain are all going to be the future of software development, and you have made the right choice. Right? So with that introduction, I'll just go through some of the academic aspects of this particular program. Riaz, the next slide, please. So in this particular program, you will go through what is called as continuous assessment process, right? It is not that you go through the 6 to 8 months program and you do one exam, finish it, and then you graduate. It is not like that, right? So we have a number of assessments, examinations, multiple choice questions, so that in each and every module, so that you will be on par with the others, and then learning as you proceed, right? So we have a number of components, and some of these things are mandatory, some of these things are not mandatory, but I urge all of you to take both graded as well as the ungraded components, so that you will be abreast with the latest developments in this particular area. So we have some minimum scoring criteria, for example, 20% in all the courses, and just do your duty, right? So you are here for a particular purpose, and you want to learn software development, you want to upgrade yourself, you want to seek newer avenues for growth, professional growth, and therefore I'm sure that all of you will do due diligence to all the assessment components that are part of this particular program. So the next one, please. Yes. Yeah, so there is also a capstone project at the end, which is course 4, and will be a rewarding experience for you, because this is where you put in all the things that you have learned, the theory that you have learned into practice, right? So a number of learners have said in the recent graduation ceremony that they have learned a lot from the capstone project. So don't take capstone projects lightly, right? So that's where you apply your knowledge and skills and get to learn about doing projects, right? And the course 4 is full of capstone projects. I mean, we have had instances where the learners slack off a little bit and then don't know how to do the project and things like that. It's all part of learning experience, right? So I urge all of you to take this particular capstone project very seriously, so that you can complete this particular certificate program with certain hands-on experience. The next one, please. Yes. Yeah, so attempt all the assessments. It's a continuous learning process, and therefore, go through each of the assessments and the other learning components. There is CGPA requirement, the cumulative GPA requirement of 2.4 to be eligible for graduation. I'm sure that all of you will make it. Don't aim for 2.4, right? You have to aim for 3.4 or 3.6, close to 4, right? So that you will not have any problems, during the later part of your journey in this particular program. So this program will give you all the essential tools. It's up to you to make the best use of it, and I'm sure that all of you will enjoy this particular experience. The next one, yes. Yeah, so the document verification, I'll just complete it, and then I will just talk a little bit about the plagiarism policy, and then you can take care of it, right? So there's a strict document verification process that we at IIIT go through. So we have been admitted based upon certain criteria. So please submit all the documents that are required for this particular program in time as present in the student manual, so that we can do the complete check and you can be onboarded. Right? There is another thing that I want to discuss, plagiarism. So we have no plagiarism policy. What is plagiarism? So plagiarism is what you copy from peers or what you copy from Google the bot, right? So you are here for purpose and you do all your assessments and examinations by yourself. We have had instances where the learners have been caught on plagiarism, and they have been debarred from the program. So please try to do all the assessments. It's not a threatening remark from my side, but I just want to make sure that you all understand that all the things have to be done by you and yourself only. Okay. So that's from me. Yes, over to you.
Okay.
And welcome once again to this particular program to all the learners. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Professor Sridhar, for putting such an informative session. Guys, the documents are really important. So make sure that you guys submit the documents as soon as possible. And also, as Professor mentioned, that plagiarism. So please see to it that we do not get involved in such kind of activities which are being really very closely scrutinized by UpGrad and IIIT. Okay. So moving forward, so we have everyone we have learners from advanced certification program from big data, cybersecurity, cloud computing, blockchain, and DevOps. Okay, so we have our panelists. We have Abhinav, we have Aditya and Shraddha. Okay, so they will be putting some light on the course curriculum and the structure of the program. So I'll start. Abhinav, I would like you to take over and just explain the learners about big data and cloud computing for the next few minutes. Yeah.
Sure. Hey, hi everyone. So yeah, as some of you are mentioning in the chat that this indeed is a combined webinar where we are sort of walking each one of you through all the advanced certificates that you guys have enrolled in. So the grading criteria and all was common for all. So professor has covered that, and now we will be coming to one by one in each of these specializations. So while we are going through these specialization, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A section, and we shall be addressing them towards the end of the webinar. Okay. So yeah, so with that, let's jump on to the very first specialization that we are discussing, which is the big data specialization. So the advanced certificate program in big data, this is as you have already seen the detailed curriculum brochures and all. So we'll be just walking you through what all is there in the curriculum broadly. So the very first thing that we start with is the Python programming. So Python is something which is now synonymous to everything that has to do with data, right? If you want to crunch any data, any kind of this thing is there. You want to do some preliminary analysis, preliminary data analysis, or even want to build some complex machine learning. You will be making use of Python. Python has great support and great community for that. Similar is something is true for big data as well. Big data is again where Python is heavily used for the same reason that there is data coming in and you have very powerful libraries in Python to crunch and get something useful out of the data. So Python programming, we will start with the preparatory course on Python programming, where you have basics of Python, for 2 weeks. There is some advanced concept as well, which is kept as optional. If you are someone who is very new to Python, it's highly recommended that you go through that preparatory content as well as some additional content that is out there on Python based on in general data structure algorithms and their implementation on Python. There is one more thing which is equally important, which is SQL. SQL is something we intend to cover via live sessions. So there will be a series of 3 live sessions using which SQL will be covered. Again, SQL is something which is mostly a common skill. So that is why it's not a part of the curriculum. I mean the recorded modules. But it is part of the curriculum as the live sessions. So if again you are someone who is very new to SQL, these 3 live sessions, watch out for the communication, live session communication, and these 3 live sessions are something which you should not skip, and you should attend those live sessions to get started with SQL as well. Okay, there is one recorded module as well which will be provided to you as additional resources on the platform itself. So there will be some recorded content as well as the very basics of SQL. But yeah, more importantly, there will be 3 live sessions on SQL by our industry expert who will be teaching you SQL from the basics itself. So that's about the preparatory course. Now we come to the very first course into the program itself, which is Big Data Fundamentals, the platform, where we intend to go build your fundamentals around big data. So start with what is big data in general, the use cases and all, and then we jump on to the AWS lab that we are going to get. So throughout this particular curriculum, you will be sort of working in various big data technologies, some open source, some proprietary by AWS. So the primary cloud that we'll be using, as I said, is Amazon Web Services, AWS, and each one of you will be enrolled in big data will be getting an AWS account. That account will be managed by Upgrad, and using that account within the learning content itself, there are all the steps to set up and everything, and then you guys will be able to practice all the big data concepts as they are taught in the modules in your own AWS labs. So that is the very first thing that we do. Basically, we ask you to set up your own AWS account, set up your own AWS lab, get familiar with the AWS terminologies and all. Then there are some other keywords as well. In general, what are distributed systems? What is cloud? And then primarily, since we are focusing on Hadoop-based Hadoop ecosystem for big data, so you get introduced to Hadoop and MapReduce. There is one more thing which is around data modeling. Data modeling is something which goes hand in hand while you work with big data or any you are working as a big data engineer or a data engineer. So data modeling, both aspects, dimensional data modeling as well as relational data modeling. Relational data modeling is something which is used in the RDBMS system, relational databases system, which are heavily used in the industry. And dimensional data modeling is something which is applied when you build large data warehouses for your enterprise needs. So both sort of data modeling, how they work, how you eventually model a data, various keywords and all will be covered. Coming to again the crunching the data itself. So Hadoop and MapReduce is something that I mentioned we start with when we deep dive into big data stack. And the most popular tool in a Hadoop ecosystem is Apache Spark. So we have enough content for you covering various aspects of Spark. So we start from the basics of what is Spark, how it works and all, and then we go deeper into learning about data frames, learning about Spark SQL, learning about RDDs, and then you even sort of learn Spark in a multi-node environment where you deploy Spark using an EMR cluster and learn how you can optimize Spark jobs, how you can optimize Spark job for processing large-scale data. So that is something which is again a very useful skill while you will be working as a data engineer to optimize your Spark jobs to process data in a very efficient manner. So that is the foundation that you need. You have learned about big data, distributed system data modeling, Hadoop and MapReduce, and more importantly, Apache Spark, which is now becoming a one-tool solution for most of the big data needs. Then we come to more a specific tool, more architectural. Then we take architectural sort of an approach where we first talk about batch data processing, and then the following course is on real-time data processing. So batch data processing is where you build data pipelines to process data in batches, let's say every 24 hours or every quarter or every month or every fortnightly, on the fortnightly basis. So this is where you learn to develop ETL data pipelines. So in ETL data pipelines, you'll be using tools such as Apache Scoop, Apache Flume, Hive, HBase, and as Amazon Redshift as well. So the entire pipeline from data extraction to transformation using Spark, and then loading it in warehouses or NoSQL databases such as HBase, and will be covered. So apart from HBase, we will also be providing you optional content on MongoDB. So MongoDB is something which will be added as an additional reference for you, and you can go through if you are interested into it. The next course will be on real-time data processing. So this course now will be focused towards tools and techniques where you process data in the real time. The very first thing that we start with is introducing you to streaming algorithms. What all streaming algorithms that we have, because in general we are used to think in the lines where we have the data available and then we are processing it. So it's something which is it's something that we do in batch data processing, but real time data processing is different. It's mostly event based, where you have certain events and coming in the real time, and you want to process and get results out of it. So for example, a credit card fraud detection, right? So as soon as the credit card is being swiped, you have to make a decision basis the parameters that you receive in real time, whether to allow that transaction or not, whether it is fraudulent or not. To categorize it, you have to have that real time processing in place. So this is where these real time data processing tools comes into the picture. The two most popular tools are Apache Kafka and Spark Structure Streaming. So Apache Kafka is a real time data ingestion tool, you can say. It's a messaging queue basically. And then you have Spark Structure Streaming, again one of the popular library of Spark, which is dedicated towards crunching data in the real time. Towards the end of this course, we will also be looking at two real life applications where you will be building two separate end-to-end applications as a guided project with our industry experts. So you'll be using the various technologies, various concepts that you have learned, and you'll be putting it together in a single use case. So this is what will give you a feel how all these technologies come into the picture and solve a single use case, solve a single purpose. The very last thing we have is the capstone project. So as Professor mentioned, capstone project is something which is going to be a 4-week long project, and there you will be sort of solving a real world big data industry problem, end-to-end problem. It will be consisting on the batch data processing as well as real-time data processing, and everything will be done on the AWS based platforms as you have learned throughout the course. There will also be throughout the program two or three things basically that I would like to mention. One is there will be hands-on coding questions, hands-on practice questions, you can say, in each one of these big data technologies, which are highly advisable for you to go through. There will be obviously course project at the end of each course. So big data fundamentals, batch data processing, real-time data processing. There will be course projects as well, which will give you hands-on feel about that, the tools and technologies covered in that field. And there are exams as well. So those exams details you can see in the program calendar. So a snapshot is something which is now visible on your screen. This is not the complete snapshot. This is up to the next 3 to 4 months. But the detailed calendar will be shared with you through mails, and if not, you can contact your upgrade buddy for that. But yeah, this is the calendar how you should be planning your studies. The year will be weekly deadlines, and you guys are supposed to complete your program within that deadline. And there are course projects, as you can see, and there are exams as well, and exams week as well, where the exams will be held. Exams are supposed to cover all the concepts that you have learned in the course prior to it. Yeah, so that is about big data. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A chat. Q&A box, and we shall be taking it towards the end of the session. Yeah. So now coming to cloud computing one. So the cloud computing specialization that especially we are focusing on is the cloud native development. And with cloud native development, basically what we are focusing on is design and development of microservices. So the entire specialization is designed in a way that you guys are learning backend development using the cloud native architectures, cloud native tools and technologies throughout the build cycle. So starting from the databases to the architecture of your application till you deploy that application on cloud, everything is to be done in a cloud native way, using the cloud native concepts, architecture, and the technologies. So this is what again we start with. The primary cloud technologies that we will be using is again AWS, and each one of you who are enrolled in these particular specialization will be getting an access to AWS accounts. That account will be managed by Upgrad, and then our industry expert will be walking you through each of these. The demonstration that will be happening, basically the hands-on demonstration, you guys will be able to sort of make practice of them on your own. So the program starts with introducing the distributed systems and cloud databases. This is where we'll build your foundations on around the cloud and distributed systems domain. So we start with introducing you to distributed systems as well, and then we move on to the more specific thing, which is cloud. So again, AWS is something which we will be referring to. So the important keywords of AWS, important services such as EC2, DynamoDB, S3. These all services you will be getting familiar with because you will be using them as in when required throughout the specialization. So then the next thing that we have is around cloud databases. So database is something which is, you can't take away a database from an application, from a web application. So this is where basically you learn about SQL and NoSQL databases on the cloud. Coming up next is the design and development of microservices course. So this is where now we jump on to the main agenda from the certification. So this is where the cloud native bit start, the cloud native development bit start. So microservices is something which is heavily being used in the industry. So there has been a massive shift from the way we used to design backends, and now the way we are designing the backend. So earlier the approach was monolithic, where we used to bundle everything in a single package. But now with the cloud coming into the picture, with the distributed nature coming into the picture, with the divide and conquer algorithm basically coming into the picture with the cloud, these application architectures are now being broken into microservices. So it may sound very complex, but it's very simple. Basically, you take an entire application, a single bundle. Instead of making it as a bundle, you make it as a small chunks, in a small chunks, and those chunks are basically designed to do one specific thing. So this is where basically you get a lot of flexibility in terms of your application development, deployment, maintenance, and scalability, monitoring, and so on. So this is where basically companies, be it startups as well as the well-established product companies or even service companies, those are now moving into a microservice-based architecture where they need backend engineers or cloud-native developers who can basically develop those microservice-based backend for them. So design development of microservices, we start with learning about Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is the framework which we will be using. It's heavily used with Java. Yeah, so one important thing is the primary programming language which will be used over here is Java. So if you are someone who is not sort of hands-on with Java, it is highly recommended for you that you go through that preparatory content, that optional content that has been provided to you in Java, as well as there will also be some live sessions that will be happening on basics of Java. So you should be sort of working hard and getting the grasp of the programming language itself. before you come on to the design and development of microservices course. There is some bit of Java which is required in distributed systems and cloud database course as well. But it should be something which you should be manageable. But by the time you come into design and development of microservices, there will be Java and the development which is heavily going on. So it's highly recommended that you go through Java before coming into before you should be properly hands-on with Java by the time you come on to the design and development microservices course. So this course starts with learning about Spring Boot. Spring Boot is a very popular framework used to develop various Java-based applications, Java-based backends. So Spring Boot is something which will be covered, and moving forward, the entire design and development of microservices will be covered. So entire development cycle from building the data access layer, the service layer, choosing the right architecture, building the RESTful APIs, configuring security aspects of it, aspect-oriented programming, communication, how these microservices will communicate with each other, with each synchronous communication as well as asynchronous communication, which we covered using Kafka. So there is basically enough understanding of a very detailed hands-on understanding of how you from scratch design and microservice-based application in this particular course. Once you sort of done with the development, we will be coming to the next course, which is serverless development and deployment of cloud native application. The very first thing that we start over here is learning about serverless, because serverless is something which is being very popular these days when you develop cloud native applications. So similar to what you have done using Spring Boot, you will also learn how you can use the serverless technologies provided by AWS to build a microservice-based application with tools such as AWS Lambda, AWS API Gateway, and the cloud-based databases such as DynamoDB. Then we will be in between focusing on how you get your applications ready for deployment. There you have how you optimize your applications, how you sort of do some sort of a debugging on your application, and then once we are done with it, we will be coming to the deployment part. The deployment is something which will be covered using Docker and Kubernetes. So you'll be learning how you containerized your application using Docker. And again, Docker will be covered from pure basics to how you deploy a microservice-based application on the cloud using Amazon EC2s. Then the next thing is how you sort of use Kubernetes to orchestrate orchestrate your Docker containers. So this is where you will learn basically now those containers, Docker containers, how you manage and deploy it using Kubernetes. So Kubernetes again, which will be covered from very basics, and then you will learn how you can deploy your own microservice-based application using both Docker as well as Kubernetes. There will also be some optional content on AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So Elastic Beanstalk is something which is again managed by AWS. It's provided by AWS, and that service is something where you just need to upload your jar files and you are done for the day, right? So that also we have in place with you. You will also get that flavor in a deployment. Coming to the very last course, which is the capstone project. So capstone project is again going to be a project where you will learn how you can develop a microservice-based application from the very start to the very end, from its design till its deployment on the cloud. So all the aspects basically that you learn throughout the course will be covered. So again, as I have mentioned in big data as well, there will be hands-on coding questions throughout the program, which are highly advisable for you to go through. There will be course projects, there will be exams, and again you can see the snapshot of the calendar on your screens. If it is not something which is not visible or not very clear, this is something which will be shared with you over the email. You guys can go through it. You guys should make your schedule around it, and should plan your studies accordingly. So that's about the cloud computing one. I'll now request Shraddha to take care of blockchain. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Abhinav. Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Shraddha, and I am from the content team at Upgrad, and I'll be taking you through the curriculum of the blockchain track. Okay, so as as you can see on the screen, that I'll be discussing the program structure of blockchain. But before we actually delve into the syllabus, let us try to just get a brief of understand the brief of what actually blockchain is in very simple terms. Right, so we can say that blockchain is a decentralized distributed database. Basically, it is a network. It's a technology on which applications are built, right? Whether it can be a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, or it can be an application like a property registration system. Okay, so for example, like in any web application that is without blockchain, there are three layers, right? The database, the front end, and the back end, right? So the database layer stores the entire data of the application. But in case of blockchain, or in case of any application developed on blockchain, that centralization of data storage is removed. So in a blockchain application, the data is not stored on a single ledger or a single centralized database, but it is stored like over a distributed set of nodes. By nodes, I mean computers. And these nodes are connected together over a network. Right? So I think I am very sure that all of you must have heard of Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency. So blockchain is basically the technology that is used behind the Bitcoin network. So that was actually, the one thing that revolutionized blockchain is that the realization of it not only being used as a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but it can be used in any web application. So it's totally up to you, or totally up to the developer or the architect to use any part of the network, the network in any part of the application, right? So the various features that the technology brings to the table are quite significant. Like there's trustlessness, there's transparency, right? It's very difficult to tamper, or difficult to get through the network. So by now, I think everyone has a brief idea of what exactly it is. Let's start with the curriculum. So the first course that the first module that you will be going through is JavaScript and Node. So this is kind of like the preparatory content before you actually start learning about blockchain, because now most of the applications built on blockchain in the industry are built on JavaScript and Node. These are the most common programming languages used for writing various applications on blockchain. So in this course, you will be learning each and everything about JavaScript, and how you can use these concepts will be taught later on in the course. Right. So after you have learned the basics of JavaScript and Node, the next step is to learn the basics of blockchain and various features of it. As you can see, the module name is Blockchain Basics and Features, right? In this particular part, you learn the dynamics of blockchain. What are the various basics associated with the blockchain system? This will be, the starting of it will be fairly theoretical, because you will be going through various, mechanisms such as consensus mechanism. So by consensus mechanism, I mean that since data is stored and transactions are done on a network of computers, how will that transaction be actually added to the network, right? That particular mechanism, or that particular process, how is it actually done, is done using the consensus mechanism. So it said that, majority of the nodes should be, in consensus that, yes, this transaction should be updated on the blockchain network. Right. Then you'll be learning more about cryptography, how you can make a network secure, the different kinds of, you'll learn about the different kinds of nodes existing in the system, how each and every intricacy of how a block is made, how transactions are done, how all these records are kept, how these nodes interact with each other, how trustlessness is achieved in the system, how immutability, by immutability, I mean that once a transaction is done on the blockchain network, it's very difficult. It's almost impossible to revert that transaction. And you'll be learning what are the different features of blockchain that brings the network brings to the table, or any web application, right? All these concepts you will be learning with the example of Bitcoin network, because Bitcoin was the origin of blockchain technology. So you will be learning all these in parallel with Bitcoin. This will be purely theoretical, but moving on from that, you will be learning the next big topic in this course itself, that is the Ethereum, right? As you can see, it's written as distributed application development on Ethereum. Right now, Ethereum is a blockchain. It is a blockchain framework which is used for building all sorts of blockchain applications. Uh, Ethereum is basically a public network. What do I mean by a public network is that anyone and everyone can join the network, just like Bitcoin. I can buy Bitcoin anytime. So Ethereum is just like that, but Ethereum does not only have a cryptocurrency, but it is also used to build applications on top of it. And it can also be used as a cryptocurrency. Now, if we talk about market coverage, right, almost 80% of all the blockchain applications that are built in the industry are based out of Ethereum, because of its public nature, and because there's a lot of work that has already happened on Ethereum. This is the most popular choice for building any application right now. So in this part, you will learn how to build a distributed application on Ethereum blockchain network. In this course, you will go through a complete web application. Here, what you will learn is you'll be learning how to do some hands-on exercises, how to build contracts. Contracts are so just like the backend is the main logic behind any web application. Smart contracts or contracts on Ethereum are the basic logic behind the web application. Right. So you'll learn how to write smart contracts. Those smart contracts you will be writing on using the language Solidity. You'll be that's the only language the most common language that is used to write smart contracts on Ethereum. And you'll learn how to create a test network, uh, Ethereum test network. You will learn how to deploy those contracts on that test network. And by the end of this course, you will be writing a whole set of smart contracts for a course project, right? The next topic, moving on from that, the next topic is distributed application development on Hyperledger Fabric, right? So as I mentioned that Bitcoin and Ethereum are public networks, right? Hyperledger is also a very widely used blockchain framework for a private, basically it's private. So not everyone can join the network. You have to have permissions to join that network. So these are also called as enterprise networks, right? Because since it is private, it can be used only for a particular enterprise, or can be used only for a particular use case, right? So as a part of this course of Hyperledger, you will be learning how to build a distributed application, that is a web application on Hyperledger framework. In this course as well, by the end of this course, you will be learning how to build a complete application on Hyperledger network. So there are smart contracts on Hyperledger as well, but these smart contracts are not written on Solidity. These are written using JavaScript, right? So you will be learning how to write these contracts in this module. So basically it is called chain code in Hyperledger Fabric. So you'll learn how to write chain code, the logic of any application, and you'll be using all these concepts to solve the course project that will be by the end of this course. Moving on, as part of the next course that you can see here is architecting a blockchain solution. So by now you have coded, you have done a lot of hands-on practice on Hyperledger and Ethereum. You have developed projects, right? But only developing is not enough for any person to grow in their career. So as you grow up, as you grow in your career, you'll be needing to architect some of the applications or architect projects, or build a whole POC for any requirements, right? So this course will be focused solely on that, right? In this course, you will learn some of the intricacies or some of the best practices that you can keep in your mind while designing any industry grade solution for any requirement. These will be some advanced topics that will be highly useful, for our advanced learners or for everyone. Basically, you'll be creating industry grade projects on Hyperledger and Ethereum as a part of this course. Right. So, so as a part of, so there will be 2 projects. Using those projects, you will be learning things like how to measure the performance of your web application, how to scale your web application, how to deploy your application on production, right, using AWS. So you will also be learning how to deploy, as I mentioned, a Hyperledger project on AWS, on cloud using AWS, and then you will learn how to measure the performance of that particular project. And then the next will be a project, a DeFi, that is a decentralized finance project on Ethereum, right? And the last part of this course will be purely theoretical. There you will learn about some other frameworks other than Ethereum and Hyperledger, because our entire course is focused on Ethereum and Hyperledger, but you will also be introduced to other frameworks like R3 Corda, Stellar, IOTA, Ripple, and Polkadot, right? These frameworks will be covered only as a literary part, as I mentioned before. You won't be learning how to develop applications on these frameworks as a part of this curriculum. However, for Ethereum and Hyperledger, there are end-to-end applications that you will be developing. After that, you will apply the architecting concepts that you have learned so far for the course project. And just after the course project, you have the 4-week-long capstone project, where you will be creating an end-to-end industry-grade, solution. So, yeah. Yeah. As you can see, that the calendar shows that, after every course there's a course project, and I know this on the screen you cannot see the 3rd course, that is the architecting a blockchain solution, that you will be receiving on your mails, definitely. But as you can see that you have an assignment or a project by in the end of each course, and you have exams which will be focused on judging you for all the concepts that you have learned so far, right? I think that was it about the blockchain part of the webinar. I would like to end it here, and I would like to ask Aditya to take this forward.
Hi, Aditya. Aditya, can you hear me? Okay, guys, I think there might be some issue at Aditya there. Abhinav, would you be able to check on him till that just for 2 minutes?
Yeah, I'm checking. In the meanwhile, if you can start with the later part of the slides, that is also fine, right?
Sure.
Yeah, hi guys, sorry for that. Actually, I got a call from one of the student mentor. Yeah, not an issue. Can you hear me? Abhinav, can you confirm?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with DevOps. So guys, can you quickly write in chat people who are in DevOps? Can you put yes? No, one. Mizila, Debel, SRK, we have SRK, Rafat Khan, Lokesh, we have a lot of people. Okay, guys, I mean, even if you are in DevOps or not in DevOps, right? So what I'll try to do is I'll just try to make you understand in very, very layman language what DevOps is about, right? I won't throw a lot of jargons to you, right? So, I mean, it's a personal question, but I think, this example will help you understand, how DevOps works or what is the importance of DevOps in the current companies or enterprise, right? So just want to ask this question: how many of you have shopped on the Big Billion Day or the Amazon Great Indian Sale? How many of you had done? You can write yes, or if you don't want to answer, yeah, as Arke did. Yeah, a lot of people have done, right? So I'll just take this example, right, of this e-commerce company, right? What they do, how DevOps actually help us, right? So guys, whoever I'm sure a lot of people might have shopped on this Big Billion Day sale, right? Now, what happens is that you might have seen that in 1 hour, in every hour there is some new product. The page is refreshing every 10 second, 15 second, 20 second, even 5 second, right? A lot of new products are coming new. The prices are changing dynamically, right? And they have hourly deals which launch exactly. Let's say it says it will launch at 1 p.m. Then it will launch at 1 p.m. Neither 1 and neither 12:59. It launches at 1 p.m. right? So everything is almost pre-decided. Yeah, some human intervention is almost required, but yeah, everything is mostly designed before only that these are the offers which will launch on this time or this day, right? And these are the things which we are going to have, right? Now let's just think about this, right? That a website like Amazon and Flipkart, they are trying to list a lot of products each second, okay? And they are trying to refresh their page, maybe let's say within 5 seconds or within 10 seconds, so that new products can come up, right? Or they are trying to update the prices, right? So those kind of things are happening, right? So right, and so how this is happening, right? So you know that okay, there might be some developers, right, which might be sitting on their laptop, and they might be coding something, they might be designing those pages, right, which you are looking at, right? Some lights around the phone, those kind of things, right, are there, right? So some web developers are designing, but how they are able to publish that code within 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds, that is very important thing which we need to understand, right? And that is exactly where DevOps comes into picture, right? Now, the websites are so fast, the websites are so quick, we need refresh in 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, and that is exactly where DevOps comes into picture, right? Now, imagine a scenario. Now, traditionally, what used to happen, okay, that there will be one developer team who will develop the web application, right? Who will develop the Flipkart web application. That this is how web application will look like. This will interact like this, right? Those kind of things. Web developers or the development team will do, right? So those things development team will do. Now, once our development team has done that, they have built the code, they have the Flipkart page ready or Flipkart website ready, right? So what they will do is traditionally, not right now, they don't do it right now, but traditionally what they used to do or what they might have done is once that code is ready, they will give this code to the another team. The developer team will give this code to another team, and that team is called production team, right? And what is their job? Production team or operations team, right? You can remember this, either production or operation. Now, what they will do, what the operation team will do, they will take your code, right, and they will put this code on the server. First, they will check it whether this code, okay, it might have worked on some developer's MacBook or some Windows laptop, right? But it may happen that when you are putting it into a server, right, when you are putting it into your organization server, it might not work. Some bugs are there, right? Those kind of things are there. Now, do you think that Flipkart web developer team each 3 or 5 seconds they are coding, and then the operation team is putting that code quickly within 5 seconds to the operations or to the server, right? That is not happening, right? this is everything is automated, right? And that automation is done by DevOps, right? Now everything from developer's laptop to the website which you see on the servers, everything is automated, right? And this automation is done via DevOps. I hope everybody might have understood this, right? This is the easiest example which I can take. I think you can relate to, right? Now, so that and that is exactly happening. DevOps is the combination of development and operation. So we have merged these two operations, and we are calling it as a one operation, DevOps. Now, developer team and the operation team, they don't sit in different rooms and they just exchange that, okay, this is the thing I have done, this is the thing you have done, right? If this has to be done, then no organization can launch a web page within 3 seconds, or they can refresh the web page in 3 seconds, right? Otherwise, they will just, in exchanging the information, they will take a lot of time. Now, yeah, so I mean, this is the easiest example. Everything. Now, if you have to give the definition in the layman language, everything from the developer's laptop to the production server, if it is automated, right, it is used. I mean, the DevOps is used, or it is used by, it is done by the use of principles of DevOps, right? So that this is very, very important. You can just remember this example, and then I think you will be good to go, right? If you want to explain DevOps to anybody, right? Now, what we will exactly learn in this DevOps program, right? First, the first course will be DevOps Essential. Now here we will focus on the basic part of DevOps, right? Which will build the foundation of you, right? Which will build the foundation for the further course also, right? If you want to learn web application at scale, or you want to learn CI/CD pipeline, then it is very important that you go through DevOps Essentials in a very detailed way, right? And this is very important. Now, what you will do in DevOps Essentials, first, you will first learn about what is DevOps, how it is different from traditional software development, what are the additional features it brings, right? So those theoretical stuff you will do, right? So that you have a theoretical foundation. Then you will learn about bash scripting. Okay, so bash scripting is nothing but right. So you must have heard about Python scripting, right? So scripting we generally use for automating things, right? So here we will focus on bash scripting, and then some parts of Linux you will learn, right? So mostly because DevOps engineers or SRE engineers, right? They mostly use Linux systems, right? So it is very, very important to learn Linux environment, right? And most of the enterprise grade things mostly people do on Linux environment, right? Windows are rarely, it is used, but yeah, it is. Linux is more, I'll say, robust, right, as compared to Windows. Okay. Then, okay, when we have done bash, we know what is the basics of scripting, right? And what are the basics of Linux? Then we will move to GitHub, right? GitHub is basically GitHub, right? Is basically version control system, right? What happens is that, for example, you and your friend are working on the same software, working in the same team, right? But you make some changes in the software, right? You might have added some features, but at the same time, your friend is also making some changes to that software, right? So there can be a lot of collision between what you are trying to do, what your friend is trying to do, right? And just imagine at the scale of Amazon, where thousands of employees are working on the same, maybe same product, right? Not thousand, then maybe tens or hundreds of people working on the same product, right? Then there will be a lot of collisions, right? That somebody has written this code, then somebody has overwritten that code, and it will be a total mess, right? That's why GitHub is used. You will learn that how different versions are maintained. If there is any collision, then how to resolve that, those kind of things, right? Then at the end of the DevOps Essential, you will learn about AWS, right? All of you will be given the access of AWS. Each one of you will have a separate AWS account. You will get some credits every month. Some dollars you will get every month, right? And it is very, very important, right? Do all your practice on AWS, right? The more time you will spend on AWS, the more you will learn on about DevOps, right? So please spend a good amount of time on AWS, right? This is very important. So what you will do is you will learn how to deploy a web application on AWS platform, right? So we will give you an application and you will learn that, okay, if I have to put this or I have to deploy this web application on a cloud or AWS, then this is the way I will do it, right? So you will learn about that, how to deploy a website. Now, web application at scale, the second course. Now, let's say, you have developed a very simple web application and then you have put it on the AWS, then it is fine. But now let's take the similar example, Big Billion Day, Amazon Great Indian Sale, right? A lot of people are coming in, right? Even people who don't shop regularly, they are coming in and they are buying, right? So a lot of load is there on the Flipkart or Amazon website. So they are working. So basically what we can say is they are working at a scale, right? They are facing a lot of traffic. Now, how to work at scale is the motto of the second course, right? Is the motto of the second course, right? That we will learn the concepts like containerization, Docker. So I won't go in detail right now. You won't understand, and I mean, it will be just a waste of time. I'll just talk to you in the layman language. But yeah, just remember this, that you will learn about containerization and specifically Docker, right? And then you will also learn that, okay, how to containerize thing at scale, right? When you have a lot of traffic. And in this, you will use AWS ECS, right? So yeah, this is the second course. You will learn how to deploy a web application, plus how to make a web application work at a scale when the traffic increase. Also, not just about the traffic increase. Let's say traffic is decreasing on particular days, right? So your resources should not go to waste. For example, let's say some $10 you are using on your server side, but let's say 50% of traffic is not coming on particular day, right? Let's say some day when people are busy, right? Mostly there must be some days where people shop less, right? Maybe on Monday, right? Today, maybe people shop less, right? So in that case, we should be able to tone down the web application scale, right? We should be able to reduce the scale. So how these things are done, right? How to be an elastic, right? Elastic in nature, so that we can increase and decrease according to our needs, right? So that is what we are going to learn at web application at scale. Now the third course, right, which is the most important course, right? CI/CD pipeline, system provisioning, and advanced concepts in DevOps. Right? So CI/CD is continuous integration, continuous deployment, right? What is continuous integration? Let's say some developer has built the code or has developed a code, right? Then taking that code, testing it, right, and making sure that it is working with the others code as well, or the central code as well, right? This is called continuous integration. You are continuously taking the code and integrating it. You are testing it, and you are testing with the remaining software also that these features are working, which has been developed by a particular developer, right? This is continuous integration. Then continuous deployment. Now, if this code is ready, this code has been tested, we should immediately put on the servers. This is called continuous deployment. As soon as we are done with continuous integration or we are done with testing, we should be able to put it as soon as possible on the server, right? This is called continuous deployment. Continuous integration means we are testing it continuously, right? Continuous deployment means we are putting it on the server continuously, right? So entire CI/CD pipeline has been built. Okay, a web developer is coding it. Now it just directly goes to server. There's nothing in between, right? Everything is automated. So you will learn how to build a CI/CD pipeline, right? And which is very important. Even in your interviews, most of your questions will be on CI/CD pipelines or web application scale. Then system provisioning, of course, you will learn how to monitor the web application also, right? So a lot of people in Flipkart right now will be, monitoring that how their website is working. If right now their website goes down for even 30 minutes or 1 hour, they will bear huge losses, right? Crores of losses, right? You can imagine, right, how many people are shopping. So a lot of people are checking the health of the website, right? So that you will also learn how to check health of the website, how to see if website is facing an issue. You will learn all these things in detail. But yeah, just have that focus very clear that, okay, at the end of this course, whoever I mean, the people who are enrolled in DevOps, right? At the end of the course, you will be able to see, or you will be able to deploy a web application at scale. You will be able to work on a scale. Plus, you will be able to build a CI/CD pipeline, right? So these should be your two important goals, and you should work towards it, right? So yeah, this is about the ACP in DevOps. And of course, at the end of the program, we will have capstone project. We will merge everything. You have to develop, deploy a web application. You have to configure in such a way that it works on different scales. Then you will also have to monitor the health of the website, right? All those things you have to do in the DevOps, right? Now let's go to the next course. Yeah, so this is basically a DevOps calendar. You don't have to worry much about it. This will be shared with you, right, by your upgrade buddy or student mentors, right? You will get the details, but on a broad level, what I can say is just follow the weekly deadlines. Just follow the weekly deadlines, and you don't have to worry about this calendar, right? Do the task on the week. Just don't delay things, right? That's it. And you will get this calendar. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, can we move forward? Yeah, program for ACP in cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity, I think right now is very interesting, right? Because see, most of the people still right now are working from home, right? I mean, even I am working from home, right? A lot of you might be working from home, right? So here the cybersecurity is very, very important, right? So I don't know in your organization, but in my organization, we have a lot of installed, a lot of stuff which prevents us from attacks, right? And even if you don't know this, some teams, some IT teams might be doing this for you, right? Because in the COVID times, the number of hacks or the number of attempt to hacks has increased by 50%, right? A lot of people are attacking, a lot of hackers are getting a lot of chances because, people generally don't work from home, or they don't access the employees' web application, at the employees' files at home, right? Generally, people access the files of the enterprise only in their office, right? They work on office network, but right now they are working on their home network, which can be vulnerable, right? And hackers are definitely using this opportunity to cash in, right? And yeah, and of course, they demand money in bitcoins, right? You should also learn these things. You should be curious why they demand in Bitcoin, why they just don't ask to transfer the cash, right, in their bank account. You should learn about why they demand in Bitcoin. If it cannot be tracked, why it cannot be tracked, right? Bitcoin, why it cannot be tracked. Now, going in the curriculum of cybersecurity, now you have to always think in a three pillars structure, right? Whenever you are thinking about cybersecurity, always think in a three pillar structure. First is applied cryptography, second is network security, and third one is application security, right? Now, similar to DevOps, the first course will focus on building the foundation of the okay. No worries, slides are moving, but it is fine. The first course will be focusing on building your foundation. You will focus on cryptography, right? Now, what is cryptography? You will ask, what is cryptography, right? So cryptography, you can, in a layman language, you can say that cryptography is art of hiding the data, right? So whenever, let's say, you must have shopped on Big Billion Day, then you are putting an OTP, and then it is all authenticating with the bank server, and then your money is being deducted. So all this information is very, very sensitive, right? Or very, very private. So whenever your information travels through internet, it is always encrypted. Now there are different algorithms to encrypt. Now when you video call to someone, right, on WhatsApp, it says end-to-end encryption. What is that end-to-end encryption? When you pay on Paytm or maybe credit, right, it says 256 AES encryption or military grade encryption, or compliant with PCI DSS. What is these compliance? What is this encryption, right? So all these things you will learn, how the art of hiding the data works, right? Because you can't send the raw information through the internet, right? For example, when I'm speaking from here, when the data is coming from my laptop to your laptop, right? It is traveling in real time. Then definitely my laptop is encrypting it, then sending it to internet, and then your laptop is receiving it, and then it is decrypting the data, and then you are able to hear my voice, right? So my voice is not traveling as it is in a MP3 file, right? It is being encrypted with the strongest things, right? So yeah, this is about the cryptography. And also after cryptography, I think identity and access management you will learn about. If I have to brief about what is identity and access management, see, there are a lot of different teams which work in an office. There are some developers, there are some salespeople, there are some managers, some CXOs, right? All these people have different access, right? Or they have access to different information, right? They have access to different information. Developers will have access to specific development environments. CXOs might be having access to some dashboard where they can see the weekly report or the performance of the organization, right? Some numbers, some metrics they might be able to track, right? Whereas managers, they might have different access to data. Some administrator, they have different access, right? They might have some different information that, okay, this person is using this laptop, right? So those kind of things are there. Now, identity and access management is a very, very important tool for the organization, right? So basically the funda is that you have to give the minimum information to the employee, right? For example, if I give the information of CXOs, managers, developers, tester to one team, right? That is not a secure way of working, right? Because you are giving all the information of the organization to a small group of people, right? And in that case, if those people fault, right, the entire organization might go to fault, or the loss of the organization will be huge, right? Which is which can be a very big deal for the organization. That's why people give only the organization give very specific details to you, specific access to some files, right, or some specific environment, right? So you will learn about how these identities are management, how you can access, how you can give the access of some specific files or some specific services to employee. You can group people, for example, you can make a group which say that, okay, these are the developers, right? If your organization is working like they have 2 lakh people, right, then you can't give access to an individual. You will make a groups, and then you will give the access to each group, right? So those kind of things you will learn. You will learn how zero trust systems work, right? So zero trust systems is basically that you don't even trust your internal employee. Okay, you will assume that everybody can fault, and then you make a system such that it will be able to tolerate, or it will be able to combat any threat which comes even from the internal employees, right? Zero trust system, it doesn't trust anyone, CEO, founder, anybody. It doesn't trust anything, right? We will learn about these things. Then the second pillar is network security. Network security, of course, you might have heard about this firewall, right? What is firewall? In your Windows, or there might be Windows Defender, right? That is basically a firewall which allows some traffic to come, which blocks some traffic, right? So even in the organization, in some organization, you must have seen that if you try to access some specific website, right, you are not able to access it because they have blocked it. And those how they block it? Some block it with the help of firewall, right? So firewall basically, it helps you to filter out the packets, right? If your packets are coming from youtube.com, then definitely the firewall will drop those packets, and the employee will not be able to see the YouTube, right? I'm just giving you a random example. It might be working on your companies or offices, right? YouTube might be working there, but yeah, I'm just giving an example. You can drop packets, right? So in network security, we will work at a packet level, right? When packet moves throughout the organization or from organization to outside, how to monitor these packets and how to make sure that these packets are going in a secure way, or we have to make sure that not the additional packets or packets from hackers should come into the organization, right? So these kind of things. And then at the end, application security, right? So in application security, we are going to focus on web application, right? Let's say flipkart.com. Then in application security, what we are going to do is we are going to see what are the different vulnerabilities which can be there in a web application? For example, Flipkart.com, what are the different vulnerabilities which are there? And these vulnerabilities can be exploited by hackers, right? And by exploiting these vulnerabilities, hackers can get into the system and they can access the information. For example, I'll just give you a simple example that, for example, if I am able to identify a vulnerability in Flipkart.com database, right? Then probably I'll be able to get all the customers' details of Flipkart.com, what they have purchased, their credit card, debit card, all those things, and that will be a huge loss for Flipkart. And even you might have heard about this bigbasket.com, right? So I think some data was leaked, right? I mean, for lakhs of people, the data got leaked from bigbasket.com, and that didn't give any good picture to the or good reputation to the organization, right? I mean, that should be avoided. Every organization right now want to avoid such failures, right, where they just leak the data of their customer, right? And even see the phones like iPhones, right, which are very costly, they sell this as a feature that, you know, your data privacy is the, I mean, I see their ads, then out of 5, 3 are, I mean, 2 are talking about that, okay, pro things, pro camera, but 3 are talking about privacy, right? And I mean, before iPhone, BlackBerry used to be there, right? And people usually want secure product, right? Some people don't care, but yeah, people also care about security, and, you know, they prefer some phones or the other, and some people specifically buy phones for, you know, security features, right? So those kind of things are there, right? So this is the overall things which we are going to cover in cybersecurity. Of course, at the end of the program, there will be a capstone project where you will be able to where you will be exploiting a lot of vulnerabilities in the system, right? That will be a very good capstone project, right? But yeah, given that you do well in all the courses, you will be able to handle the capstone project. Now, yeah, we can go ahead. Now, similar to the last thing, I think you will get the calendar from us, right? You don't have to worry about it. Just focus that you are able to clear the deadlines every week, right? That's it. You don't have to focus on the exam calendar. Yeah, of course you will get it, but yeah, just follow the weekly deadlines. Yeah. Yeah, that's it from my side, I think. Yeah, now Niyaz,
thanks a lot, Aditya, Abhinav, and Shraddha, for sharing your views on the course content. I'm very much sure that learners would have gained quite a lot of knowledge from the verbatims. So I'll just, guys, take you through to the learning experience that was more from a content perspective. I'll just take you through to the learning experience part of upgrad. We would be having discussion forum. It comprises of 4 things. So first and foremost is the discussion forum. So guys, you would be having dedicated upgrad buddies, but whenever it comes to any technical query or any query regarding the course, you need to use the discussion forum to the fullest. If any query is there, you will have to post it on discussion forum. Okay, if it will be open to your batchmates to answer for the first 24 hours, and if you do not get any proper answer, we have our teaching assistants who will be answering these questions for you. So we have a proper academic support there. So make sure that you'll use for all your academic queries the discussion forum for to the fullest, and also make sure that you guys also participate there, because the more you'll participate there, more it's knowledgeable. It will of course increase your knowledge. So just see to it that you help your peers during the discussion forum, and see to it that you get all your queries answered through discussion forum. Then comes the personalized feedback on assignments. Every assignment that you do, you would be evaluated by the evaluators, and you would be getting a feedback on the same when you will be receiving your score. So you will come to know which what needs to be done, like, I mean, which areas did you lack. Okay. Then very important part is the SME sessions. We would be having live sessions mostly on weekends. You would be getting the notification quite well in advance for these sessions. Okay, so please make sure that you attend these live sessions and have your queries answered there as well. You would be able to ask questions to the SME through the chat option on the live platform. Okay, and then as I mentioned earlier, you will be having a dedicated support and upgrade buddy. So you will be having an upgrade buddy dedicated towards you, who will be answering all your non-academic queries. I mean, as everyone said, Aditya, Abhinav, and Shraddha about the calendars. It has been shared with you on mail on 30th on the uh, on the day on the post launch dates. And if in case you haven't received it, you can reach out to your student. You can reach out to your grad buddy, and they'll be sharing it with you for sure. I'll just take you through. So we have Priyanka Srivastava, who will be a grad buddy for cybersecurity program. Then we have Preeti Pari, who will be a grad buddy for big data program. Then we have Khyati Jain. She would be a grad buddy for blockchain. We have Adnan, who will be taking care of DevOps, and Vinita Bajaj for cloud computing. So we have a video which will explain how these upgrade buddies will be kind of be of help to you. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Mayank Kumar and I'm the Managing Director and one of the co-founders at Upgrade. Firstly, congratulations on taking up this program. Now, as you begin your learning journey, you will obviously hear from the professors and the industry experts, but there is another team that is very crucial for ensuring your success during this program. Some of you may already know who I'm talking about, but for the others, instead of me giving you all the details, I will just get them to introduce themselves and explain what they do. So it's over to you.
Thanks a lot, Maya. Hi, I'm Rajesh Jagtap. I'm so happy this program has launched and we all can virtually start getting to know one another. I'm also really excited to be part of the team that will guide you throughout your program. Our Upgrade Buddy and their support team are here to make your learning journey smooth. So by now, you probably know that we are all there to help you with all your non-academic queries and make sure you're engaged and you complete the program. We'll also remind you about the upcoming deadlines. And in case you have any issues that need to be addressed urgently, you can contact my team by mailing studentsupport@upgrad.com and you will receive a response within 24 working hours. But what if it is something quite urgent that requires our immediate attention? Then all you have to do is click on the callback button that is there in the help and support section of the learning platform, and our team will reach out to you within 2 working hours. We'll also form a Telegram channel for our batch where we'll share all important notifications so that you don't miss out on anything important. So hope you're all set to start learning. And one pro learning tip before I go, please study a little bit every day and not let work pile up. That will really make your learning journey smooth. And I wish you all the best and we'll be in touch. Bye-bye. Thank you.
So guys, as you must have seen this video, it explains the role of an upgrade buddy. So you guys can go to the, on your Learn platform, you'll have an option of having a callback. If you go to the help section, and you can also email to studentsupport@upgrad.com. There would be a Telegram channel made by the upgrade buddies, wherein they will be posting all their important notifications about the program. Okay, and also you can get in touch to the upgrade buddies through Telegram itself. So they would be creating a channel very soon, and you would be getting all notifications about the program there. So good luck, guys, there. So I'll just take you some other aspects of the program. So we do have career services as part of the PGC advanced certification program here. Okay. So you would be having one-on-one. We would be having industry expert calls, mentorship calls through industry experts later on in the program. Once you cross around, once you are close to the first slot of exam, we would be having career services, which will start right at the end of the program once the program ends. Then resume building, LinkedIn profile, mock interviews with the highest manager, access to network of jobs. Okay. You would be once you are there, once your course starts, around 2 months or so, you would be getting access to upgrade job portal, which would be inculcated or incorporated within the Learn platform. There you would be able to see the jobs available there, and you can apply to it. We also have a resume building option there as well, which will guide you there, and you can also get some help in terms of LinkedIn profile building as well. So these are something very generic in terms of what you should be doing in terms of to get a job. Most important thing, I mean, it's the current era is of the social media. I mean, since you guys are taking a technical course, please see to it that you have a very strong LinkedIn profile. You are kind of writing blogs, you pick up projects online, participate in there are a lot of hackathons, and of course do network with peers, grow your network on social media platform, or through discussion forum you can discuss with each other. See to it that you are having a very strong network when it comes to whenever it's very much like it's generic for each like for a lot of sectors, that you may be very good at certain skill, but networking is a very important aspect. So guys, please see to that you have a very strong social media profile on LinkedIn. You are writing blogs. You are taking part in hackathons. These things will definitely help you in terms of landing a very good network and landing up a very good job. So just in the end, how your schedule for the next 2 weeks will look like for blockchain, please. It's almost similar to all the programs. Please see to that you uh, complete your preparatory course by 13th October. Again, for big data, please complete your preparatory course. For cloud computing, there are modules which is introduction to distributed system and introduction to cloud, completed before 13th April. Sorry, that's a mistake. I will correct. It's 13th October. DevOps, there's complete the preparatory content again, and cybersecurity. So guys, see to it that whatever is there, whatever content is there on the platform till 13th October, for except for cloud computing, rest all have preparatory course. Please see to that you complete the preparatory course by 13th October, and for cloud computing, please see to that you complete the respective module on time. So that's it from us. Now we are open to Q&As. First, we'll see if we have anything in chat. So guys, if you first we'll see to it that we answer all the Q&A yours. Will we be getting a recording of this? Yes, of course, you would be getting a recording of this. Your upgrad buddy will be sharing it with you. Anonymous attendee. Okay. I submitted documents in the form sent earlier. Do we need to submit them anywhere else in portal? Is there a way to confirm that document submission is not pending from our side? Sure. If you have submitted it, we would have received it. If in case we have not received it, your grad buddy will reach out to you and ask for the documents. So guys, documents is a very important part. Please see to that you all submit the documents as soon as possible, so that you do not have any issues in terms of the admissions from the university. Can career services prepare me in getting admission to some university for MSN abroad? Abhinav or Shraddha, would you like to take up this question?
Yeah, as of now, the career assistance is basically career assistance, where they will help you basically to source a job also. So there is not a lot of provision basically. This is not basically the primary focus of career assistance, but this is something which you can discuss throughout your mentorship calls with an expert, that how you should be preparing. But primary career assistance will be towards getting a job also.
Sure. Thanks, Abhinav. Then we have, I submitted documents in the forms and earlier. Do we need to submit them anywhere else in portal? Is there anywhere to? I've already answered it. If you have submitted the documents, we would be like it must have been received by us. If in case there is any issue or something, your upgrad buddy will reach out to you. Will there be live sessions every weekend or according to course needs? We would be having live sessions almost every week, but that's also again depending on the course needs as well. But ideally, we would be having almost every week. There might be instances where 1 or 2 weeks might not be there. That again depends on the severity of the course or the requirement of the course. Abhinav, would you like to add something here in terms of?
No, that's it. Yeah, that is fine. Whatever you said.
I have two questions. Sir, haven't received credentials from Masters in Cybersecurity. Uh, I'm not sure about which credentials are you talking about, Gaurav. Uh, if it's AWS, we'll definitely reach out. We'll definitely check with the upgrad buddy and we'll do the needful. And a question about live streaming product administration blockchain. So when are we expecting an update from upgrad about the next steps apart from this welcome webinar? So as said earlier, you please focus on the preparatory course, which is there till 13th October. There will be live sessions for which you would be getting proper communications through emails. Please keep on checking your emails for any communication regarding live sessions, and your calendar will be also blocked for these live sessions. Thanks for the update on it would have been easier if it was communicated on or before September when the content was able on our portals. Shraddha, would you like to throw some light here?
I'm sorry, would you repeat the question?
Thanks for the update on Node.js. It would have been easier if it were committed on or before 30th when the content was enabled on our portals. So Kumar, we did cover. So this welcome webinar was to kind of give you some insights on the course content. Yeah, so you have the preparatory content on the platform. Please go through it. That will definitely help you in terms of the course which is coming up. Office meeting, I'm going to join the meeting again. Yes, Sakshat, you will be getting a recording of this. An office meeting, unfortunately, I joined the meeting. How many live sessions for cloud computing during course counseling? There only prep content, so it is more important. Abhinav, would you like to take up this question? How many live sessions?
Yeah. So Abhishek, as we mentioned, overall the live sessions will be in program. Live sessions will be throughout the program itself. And almost every week there will be a live session. Depending on there could be various agendas depending upon the topics that are covered in the in the module, or more importantly, some over and above topics which could be helpful for you. Through an interview oriented thing or some advanced content. So yeah, so some live sessions around the module, some live sessions around some interview specific concepts, and some live sessions around some advanced concepts could be there. These broadly 3 types of agendas that we have, but our live sessions will be almost every week. During the counseling, it was said that the prep course contains Java, but today it's the most important. Yes, so as I have sort of explained, the actual curriculum or the curriculum that we have is around cloud native development. So the most important part is how you develop a backend application using the Java and the Spring Boot framework. So this is the reason why prep content contains Java basically, because it's being used throughout the program. It's the primary programming language of the course, and this is something which will be required in each and every module basically. Yeah.
How much percentage AWS feature services will be covered in cloud computing? Abhinav,
Yeah. So, Samir, it will be hard to sort of answer it in terms of percentages because AWS has tens of thousands of services overall. But yeah, as something which we have explained, that the curriculum is towards cloud native development, right? Developing application backends using microservices. So the primary objective is to utilize AWS services wherever it is required on the requirement basis. So let's say EC2 is one such service which is widely used. Let's say if you want to host a database, if you want to host your Docker server on it, if you want to host Kafka onto it, right? So this is where EC2 will be used. Then we have, let's say, Amazon RDS used as a relational database for your applications. Then we will also be having the serverless sort of when we come to the serverless module. So there is where we utilize AWS Lambda, DynamoDB, and API Gateway for our serverless development. Then we have Docker and Kubernetes. So Docker and Kubernetes, again, we will be building a Kubernetes cluster using EC2 instances itself. Then there is one optional module on AWS Beanstalk as well, where AWS Beanstalk will also be covered. And in between, there will be somewhere as per the requirement, Amazon S3 will also come into the picture wherever it is required as per the development sort of needs or the kind of application that we are developing.
When will the live session start? Shortly, in the coming few weeks, it will be starting. I think for cloud computing and for they would be having a live session in the coming week, right, Abhinav?
Yeah.
So in a few, very shortly, live sessions will be starting, guys. I don't have this module for Java Basic. Is it there for everyone?
So Krishna, so basically your preparatory course will sort of matter depending upon your specialization. So let's say you have not a preparatory course but an optional course in cloud around Java, and then in big data, because Python is the programming language over there, there is modules on Python programming in the prep course. So it will be helpful if you can tell us which specialization you are enrolled in, and then we can tell if Java is supposed to be there or not.
Sir, I haven't received any credentials. So Gaurav, if you're talking about AWS credentials, it will be shared with you very shortly by our upgrade buddy. I'm yet to be contacted. Why should I wait or contact support? I'm from cybersecurity course. So Rakesh, you can write an email to studentsupport@upgrad.com, or you can reach out to us by the call option button under the help section under your profile tab. So yeah, Upgrad Buddy will be reaching out to you on the same day. But they will be soon reaching out to you through Telegram notifications, and they will be reaching out to you shortly, Rakesh. Why the preparatory for cyber in Java, not in Python? I'm still confused. I don't see any content for Python. Aditya, would you like to take up this question?
Sure. What was the question? Can you repeat?
Why the preparatory content for cybersecurity is on Java and not in Python? I'm still confused. I don't see any content for Python.
No. That the prep content will be in Python only. So see, sometimes what happen is that the teams, right, the delivery team, what they do is they provide you some extra content on programming, right, and that is usually on Java, right, because most of our programs on Java. So if you want to learn basics, fundamentals of programming, you can go through that. Otherwise, you can skip that and you can focus only on the Python ones. So it is very, very clear. You have to learn Python only, not the Java. But if you are interested, for your benefit only, we have put those modules, right? And yeah, if you want to go through it, you can go through it. Otherwise, you can skip and you can focus on Python.
Sure. I have signed for cybersecurity. Is Python programming mandatory? I'm little weak in programming. Aditya, would you like to take up this question?
Okay, mandatory. See, see, there are in initial few modules, right? At least in 1 or 2 modules, you will use a little bit of Python programming, right, to solve some questions. But what I can say is that Python won't go in all the throughout the program. It will stay for the initial few modules, right? And there, where in the places where you are learning the fundamentals, right? You don't have to worry about the your weakness in the programming, right? I mean, you can also say that I'm weak in a tech, but I mean, that is exactly why you are here. You are here. You want to learn. You want to improve, right? You don't have to worry about it. Python you will learn easily, and the questions which are related to Python are very easy. I can assure you that, right? Even a very beginner level people can do those questions in cybersecurity. Otherwise, we will focus on tools, cybersecurity tools, right, and cybersecurity techniques. Right, Python will be there, but only for a small portion, and that too, it is very easy. And even if it is not easy for you, I mean, I encourage you to learn, right? But it will be very easy.
Can I will career services before completing my capstone? Rakesh, your career services will start after the capstone project, but after 2 months in the program, you will be getting access to the job portal on the Learn platform itself. So you can apply for jobs, whichever comes on that portal. We do have a resume builder option as well. There you can try out our option as well. It will be really helpful. But your actual career services will be starting right at the end of the program. But if in case during the course of the program, if you require any assistance in terms of any call or in terms of like any assistance that you require, if you have an interview scheduled or if you require any assistance, you can reach out to your upgrad buddy, and we will kind of try to help you out in some way or the other. But that would be on an exception basis. But officially your career services will start at the end of the program, and 2 months into the program you will get access to the career portal on the upgrad portal itself. I hope I answered that question. Is there going to be any exam on 6th? On 6th October there are no exams. I guess you are mainly talking about 6th October. There are no exams so soon in the for any of the specializations. It would be at least maybe at least 3 months into the program you would be having your exams, but not so soon. Right now we are just
Yeah, hello. Shraddha, Aditya.
Yeah, we know. I can.
I think there's some problem from Niyaz's end. Let's continue with Q&A. Hi, Niyaz, are you there? Hello, Niyaz?
Yeah, can you guys hear me now? I guess I lost the connection.
Yeah.
So we do not get an ID card. You must have received the offer letter from upgrad. Okay, and course related things, you would be getting your AWS credentials soon. ID card we need to confirm, but as far as I am aware, you do not get any ID card, but you do get an offer letter from upgrad regarding this. Is the optional content not completed by the 13th October? That will you still get for prep content and continue? No. The option online completed by 13th, we will be. You need to complete minimum 90% of the prep content to be to get the prep content certificate. Are live sessions mandate to attend? How much duration it will be approximately? That depends. But ideally, we have it for 2 hours. But again, that depends on the requirement of the certain topics. Those are like not mandated to attend, but we would definitely recommend you to attend each and every live session because these are very important in terms of getting your queries answered there. So guys,
Yeah, just to add on to that, yeah. So live sessions are something which are optional, right? Your on platform content is something you attend. Live sessions are over and above that. So, but it is highly recommended that you attend these live sessions. There is a reason basically those are in place. So there could be agendas where you are getting your doubt resolved, where you are learning something which is very specific to interviews, and where you are learning some advanced concepts or some doing some extra hands-on projects on a specific topic. So this is where you want to basically be on top of everything whatever is being offered, because in this particular group, in this particular batch, you also have to compete among each other's, right? The jobs, all the career assistance, all the career services will be something which will be posted, let's say, on your upgrad job portal, and from there people will be getting shortlisted. So the students who will be making most out of all these opportunities, all these learning opportunities that is being offered, will definitely have an edge over the others. So this is why attending live sessions, it's highly recommended.
do we have access to IIIT campus and library? Yes, you do have access to IIIT campus. Whenever you visit the campus, you can show them the upgrade offer letter, or you would be getting access to the IIIT campus. Apart from this, any other questions, guys, you can post it. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes more.
So there is the question from Abhin Sahuji. Is capstone project going to be as team? So capstone project is our individual submissions only for all the specialization, all the advanced certifications that we are talked about. There is no capstone project which is on team. Even all the course projects also are going to be individual submissions. Abhishek has asked, how can I open my previous module? I didn't complete my previous module. I jumped onto another module before completing. There is any way so that I can complete my previous module? Yes, Abhishek, you can obviously anytime go back or jump into the previous modules. You should be, you can figure it out from the UI itself. Once you have the course list down, you will be having the module list from the left hand side, and from that module list you can complete the module or refer the module once you have studied that particular module. But yeah, it's very much into the platform where you can refer um, the prior modules. Cool. Anonymous attendee has asked, how many mock interviews attempts will we get? So Niyaz, would you like to answer this?
Uh, we just 1 second. Once your career services will start, we do not have an exact count of the how many mock interviews will be getting. But once your career services will start, you'll have a different spot for it, and they'll be in a better position to answer this question.
More importantly, we do just-in-time interviews where, let's say, you have an interview scheduled, and then you can get a mock interview scheduled around that. But there is no number to it as of now. This is something, as Niyaz mentioned, once your career services start, you will be getting clear idea about it.
Yeah, thanks Abhinav for covering that up. Yeah, as Abhinav said, we would be having our career services right at the end of the program. We do not have a specific number right now. They will be conveying it to you. But if in case, if you have an interview lined up, please get in touch with your upgrad buddy. It's not we will do something, but that would be purely on an exception basis. That wouldn't be right now as part of the process. The process would be your career services start right at the end of the program, and you get the career job portal access after once you cross 2.5 months into the program. Yeah. So the Telegram view only. Will there be another group where we can post questions to our Brad buddy? No. The Telegram groups will be only it's a notification channel wherein the upgrade buddy will be posting all the important notifications regarding the program. Uh, there would be no other groups wherein you will be allowed to, like, I mean, that will be the only channel that will be created by the upgrade buddy. Apart from this, there wouldn't be any other group. We had come across scenarios in previous cohorts wherein the privacy of the some of the learners were affected by this. So we we have come up with a policy where it would be a Telegram channel wherein only the notifications are posted by the upgrade buddy, only related to the course and content. Yeah.
Yeah, so Viraj, the question is also aligned. How can they communicate with an upgrade buddy, or how can they sort of post a question to upgrade buddy?
Yeah. Okay. Once the Telegram channel is created, you would be you can also directly connect with the upgrade buddy through his or her Telegram ID, and you can write to student support at upgrade.com. And if in case it's very urgent, as mentioned in the video, you can go to the help button under in your Learn platform. If you go to your profile tab, you will have a button under help section. You will get a button to get a call from the student support. So you would be getting instant call, and there would be somebody to call you up. If in case that particular person is not able to answer your queries, your upgrade buddy will be calling you up as soon as possible to resolve your queries. Yeah. Apart from this, any other questions, guys? How many mock interviews? That's already done. So guys, we'll wait for 2 more minutes. If we do not get any questions, we'll wrap it up. Uh, Yes, I think we do not have any more questions. So, the interest of time, we would be wrapping up the session. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Abhinav, Shraddha, and Aditya for covering the specific specializations. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We look forward for a much more uh, exciting journey for the next 7 to 8 months in the program, and wish you all luck in the coming future. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks. Bye. Good night.
Guys, wrapping up the session.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks for the very informative and interactive session.